The Philosophy of Future Inevitability, a systems diagnosis. 10 chapters, one pattern, 500 years of the same game. Chapter 1, the extraction engine. Colonial era, industrial era, digital era, different costumes, same operation. Coffins with sails. They crossed oceans to kill strangers and take their stuff. The downside was death. The upside was everything. The math was obvious. Invest, risk, extract, return. The algorithm hasn't changed in 5 centuries. Gold was the goal. People were the obstacle. 500 men, an empire. Rockefeller, Carnegie, Morgan, conquistadors of capital. Same pattern, better suits. The product wasn't cigarettes. The product was doubt. A sword leaves a body. An algorithm leaves a statistic. Illegible violence scales better. Today, you are the resource. Your attention, your data, your children's development. Purdue kept the billions. The company went bankrupt. The victims got pennies. They called it entrepreneurship. It was extraction with a bike lane. 4 laws. Humans extract. Scale hides morality. Institutions have no conscience. The game never changes. AI is the new wooden boat. The resource being extracted is everything. Regulation always arrives after the damage, always. Tobacco, opioids, social media. AI is next. Understanding the game is your only defense. Naivety is not virtue, it's vulnerability. This is what we do. Now you know. Chapter 2, the competence of evil. Why the pattern persists. Obedience, banality, competence, the operating system of atrocity. System diagnostic. Source code. Hitler, Stalin, Mao. Status. Functional. We want evil to be stupid. It wasn't. Nazi GDP grew 8% a year. No guns, no threats. Just a man in a lab coat saying, continue. 65% compliance. Not outliers, not psychopaths, ordinary hardware. Arendt expected a monster. She found a middle manager optimizing logistics. Democracy has constraints. Tyranny removes them. Speed increases, people suffer. Rand celebrated capacity. She forgot to ask. Toward what end? Every villain is the hero of their own story. Sincerity is not virtue. First, the language changes. Person becomes pest, then the system is ready. Atrocity requires logistics. The scheduler knew trains. Nobody saw the full picture. It never starts with gas chambers. It starts with small cruelties normalized. The people who could stop it chose champagne. Complicity for temporary safety. You are not a better person. You are a person in better circumstances. Pattern recognition is the only patch. Watch the language, notice the increments. Choose early. Once the camps are visible, objection means death. Chapter 3, selective competence. Why power protects interests, not people. High competence for elites. Permanent incompetence for the public. Same system. The government that topples empires can't save you. By design. Then overthrew democracies in weeks. Now, can't fix the potholes on your street. The system isn't broken, it's fixed. Taxes in, power out, you get the drip. Alan Dulles, CIA director. Morality absent, capability absolute. Iran for oil. Guatemala for bananas. Democracy was the obstacle. Sound familiar? Cuba, Indonesia, Vietnam, brutal, immoral, and effective in the short term. MKUltra, 20 years of mind control on citizens. The secrecy held for decades. 70,000 dead per year. Same government, different priority. 2.3 trillion, Taliban back instantly. But the contractors got paid. Concentrated interests get action. Diffuse suffering gets thoughts and prayers. War generates contracts. Treatment generates nothing powerful people want. The CIA served United Fruit. The FDA approved OxyContin. Institutions don't indict themselves. Your safety is a nice to have. Global surveillance runs fine. Your tax refund doesn't. Wall Street gets bailouts. Opioid victims get silence. Organized money wins. Always. The priority never included you. Knowing this is not cynicism. Expecting otherwise is naivety. The Great Mismatch, a system diagnostic. Exponential players, linear regulators. The asymmetry is structural. 2 operating systems. One runs on precedent, one runs on disruption. Fatal mismatch. The founder OS, formed in chaos, optimized for exponential change. The Senator OS, average age 64. Cognitive model, precedent. Tech literacy, less than 1%. The regulation arrives 5 years after the thing it regulates is obsolete. One man, space, Energy, town square, brains, unelected, more powerful than the state. 3 billion users, one algorithm. Engagement equals emotion. Outrage is the business model. $200 billion versus $400 million. The playing field is not level, it is vertical. GDPR gave us cookie banners. Chevron deference is dead. Compliance is a UI skin. Self-regulation. The promise every industry makes until the money gets big enough. Founders build gods. Senators ask if AI has feelings. Safeguards are not coming. Competence gap. Legal gap. Speed gap. The gap is permanent. No driver. The technology moves. The regulation follows. The gap between them is where we live. The AI refinery. Why the transformation layer controls the future. The great refinery race. Rockefeller understood. Scarcity captures value. The refinery protocol. Data is not the asset you think it is. Everyone repeats the wrong lie. Oil in the ground is worthless black goo. Rockefeller did not drill. He built refineries. He dictated terms. The producers had no leverage. Crude oil, AI models, different century, same architecture. Value lives in the transformation. Building a refinery costs billions. Running a query costs fractions of a cent. Scale is the moat. GPUs, energy, talent, pipelines, the anatomy of a digital refinery. The metaphor becomes literal. AI does not just parallel oil, it consumes it. 1941, oil embargo on Japan. 2022, chip embargo on China. Same playbook, different century. 3 sovereign labs, 3 flags. The countries that win this race set the terms. The bottleneck is compute, not content. NVIDIA is the arms dealer for the refining equipment. Rockefeller dominated for 41 years before the gavel fell. AI refineries, less than 5. Too strategic to break up, too useful to regulate. Liminal entities, part company, part state. Do not overvalue the raw material. Invest in the transformation layer. The raw material is abundant. The refinement is scarce. Control the transformation. The Great Silicon Siege. The refinery war is live. The US-China refinery war. Total access denial versus $500 billion counter strategy. China, chips, the refinery wars. Classification, public. Last century, oil refineries. This century, compute refineries. Same logic, higher stakes, not a trade war. A siege. October 2022, strategic denial, permanent technological ceiling. The kill switch, chips banned, tools denied, talent prohibited, every input severed. One company, one country, ASML, no EUV, no cutting edge, the ultimate bottleneck. China's counter move, $500 billion brute force, alternative architectures, poached talent. Huawei shipped a domestic 7nm chip. The siege is porous, denial has limits. TSMC, 90% of advanced chips. One island, claimed by China, the Holy Grail. 2 fleets, 1 strait. You cannot run a fab in a war zone. Nanometer precision, clean rooms, vibration control. Invade to capture, destroy the prize. 2 internets, 2 AI ecosystems, 2 supply chains. Efficiency traded for security. China market or US tech? NVIDIA wants both. Everyone must choose. Nobody can have both. The US bets China accepts permanent inferiority. Existential threats create desperate responses. Not smartphones, not trade. Who writes the code for intelligence itself? Everything else is downstream. Chapter 7. The bot horizon. 47.4% of traffic is bots. The rest is debatable. The internet didn't die with a bang. It died with a whisper. Not a cabal, not a conspiracy. Just incentives doing what incentives do. Half the traffic isn't human. The platforms didn't even know how much. Faking a person used to cost $50. Now it costs a tenth of a penny. Content farms, junk books, automated comments, the pollution economy. Your followers are code. The engagement is scripted, the consensus is manufactured. One operator, 10,000 personas. Public opinion as a service. A lie takes seconds. Verification takes hours. The attacker has a 1,000 to 1 cost advantage. Reviews, news, search, expertise, all flooded. Trust doesn't erode, it collapses. The bot horizon. The point where probably human flips to probably not. The real conversations retreat behind walls. Open internet becomes the spam layer. Protocol 1. Assume everything is generated until proven otherwise. Protocol 2, humanity becomes a premium product. Paywalls as proof of life. Protocol 3, if you can't verify them online, verify them in person. Meat space wins. The bots won. They were always going to. The question is, what you do now? Chapter 8. The sovereign individual was right. Sovereigns and subjects. The new class line isn't wealth, it's mobility. 1997. Two men predicted digital technology would break the nation-state. Everyone laughed. The prophecy versus reality. 27 years later, nobody's laughing. Industrial power required concentration. Factories, railroads, fixed assets, captive populations. Digital power favors dispersion. Code moves, ideas move, the captive audience left. Fixed assets, heavy, taxable, chained. Digital assets, liquid, encrypted, gone. Dubai, Estonia, Portugal. Countries selling citizenship like SaaS products. AI is the accelerant. One person with tools outproduces a team, and that person is portable. Two pillars hold the state, violence and loyalty. Both are crumbling. The empire strikes back. Exit taxes, global minimums, coordinated surveillance. The American exception. Citizenship-based taxation. The only country that taxes you for existing. The great bifurcation. Not rich versus poor, mobile versus stuck. The middle class trap. Enough income to be a target, not enough wealth to escape. Strategy 1. Build optionality. Portable skills. The option to leave changes everything. Strategy 2. If you can't exit, organize. Collective leverage for those who remain. The nation-state is obsolete software. Sovereign or subject, choose your position. Chapter 9. The end of Dunbar. 150 people. That's your ceiling. Neocortex says so. The biological wall, AI augmentation, and what comes after. 150. Villages, companies, colonies, not magic, hardware. You didn't stop caring, you ran out of RAM. First, you stop calling. Then you stop remembering why. AI doesn't forget. Infinite bandwidth. Memory becomes outsourceable. No more cold starts. The machine briefs you before every conversation. 150 becomes 1,000. Weak ties stop dying. Maintenance cost drops to 0. Your people aren't where you sleep. They're who the AI keeps alive. 30 groups of 5, scattered globally, operating like a village. Is forgetting more authentic? No virtue in being bad at connection. New class war. Augmented networks compound. Unaugmented ones shrink. 500 shallow relationships. Never ghost anyone. Never truly connect. Or AI handles breadth, you handle depth. Focus, not volume. Tribes are chosen now. Cathedrals or witch burnings. Structure enables both. The limit is lifting. Lonely crowd or global village. Intention decides. Chapter 10. Same game, new board. Ancient patterns. Neon tools. Build the ark or drown in the flood. Ark building time. Pattern recognition for the end of authenticity. Everything is changing, nothing is changing. Human nature with new leverage. 2 lenses. Long zoom for patterns. Close focus for dynamics. Need both. Concentration is gravity. The market selects for it, the middle gets crushed. Synthetic flood. Authenticity isn't rare, it's mathematically eliminated. Your loadout. Curious and disagreeable wins. Accommodating gets colonized. Manufacture friction. If the AI isn't arguing with you, it isn't helping. Audit inherited norms. Professionalism is a limiter. Discard it. Resilience is portability. Territory is a cage. Build skills that travel. The squeeze on exit. States get desperate. Havens close. Options shrink. The ark is a micro-tribe. 5 to 15 people. Flesh, not fiber optic. Realism, not cynicism. Systems follow incentives. Predict accordingly. Paranoia is just good engineering. One of anything is fragility. Accept the tragedy. Grieve what's lost. Protect what remains. Know the game. Read the patterns. Make your moves. Welcome to the future.